Welcome back to Y&R For Life. So glad that you're here. And if you're new here, hey, how you doing? And this is where we talk about all things young and the restless. From what's going on to my predictions, what I think may happen. Again, it's the love of the show. And once again, if you don't want to know what's going on, you want to get caught up on your own, this may not be what you want to watch. However, I am so glad that you are here. And it would be so nice of you, if you do like the content that you hear and see, that you click that like button and subscribe and hit the bell notification so that you don't miss a single video that I post here on Y&R For Life. So again, let's sit back and relax. I'm going to tell you, I'm wearing my caftan, one of my caftans, and there's a reason for that. You will hear about it because in my last video, I was so over talking about Slaminate, but we have to discuss him again. And I felt that it was caftan worthy with what occurred. So stay tuned for information concerning Slaminate and Victoria, because my goodness, it is lounge worthy. So let's get into it. And don't mind me while I may go over some notes, just because I don't want to miss anything. Okay? So let's talk about Summer. Summer has been wearing that one blouse with the champagne, the ombre look for a couple days now. Her hair is kind of tousled, not like Victoria's was the other day when her and Slaminate were doing it on the table in her office, the office. Ugh. We'll get back to Slaminate. Anyway, so Summer, she's been roaming about in this park. She has, been talking to Daniel, and poor Summer is, in my head, she's completely lost it. Now again, we all know at this point that Phyllis has shown herself to Summer. She has told Summer about every sin that she has done through this whole Jeremy Stark episode. So again, Summer has been the one, ingesting all this information, and she's like a bubbling stew. So in comes Daniel into the picture. Once again, we already know she tried to tell Daniel about Phyllis's Phoenix rising from the ashes story, but Daniel felt like, sis, you're kind of losing it. But Summer, she ends up spilling the beans on a tidbit of information, namely chop, 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 some scissors. And Daniel was like, how do you know about basically a murder weapon? Like how do you know about this? Like, not even the police really know about this. Like, where'd you get this information? So Summer's like, Daniel, you have to promise not to tell. So Summer goes, and that bubbling stew overflowed with information. So Summer is like, Mom's alive. She told me. She's the one that killed Jeremy Stark. She's like, she did it. So Daniel, as Phyllis had called him, the do-gooder, Daniel's like, wait, what? Hold up 1 second. So he's like, look, You mean to tell me that our mother did all this? And like, okay, where's she at? Summer's like, I don't know. But, he's like, okay, wait a minute. She's done all this stuff. Diane's all up in jail. And like, everybody is paying the price for what mom did. And Danny was like, basically, I ain't having this. So Summer's like, Daniel, you can't say anything to anybody. You can't. You have to keep this a secret. Summer, side note, I doubt that's going to happen. So, and even Daniel himself was like, I can't promise anything. Like, I can't promise anything. And it's like, I don't know. What's your opinion? I feel as though he's going to spill the beans. Is he going to tell Chance? I don't know. However, he going to tell somebody. More than likely, it'll be Lily, because seems like they're like thick as thieves. And I like them together. I do. But yeah, what's your thoughts? I think he's going to spill the beans. Anywho, so Summer was left crying her eyes out in the park. Hey, Daniel, no. Well, I don't know how well it's going to work for her. So she's there with Kyle at some point, and she's there like everything's hunky-dory, everything's fine. Kyle's like, oh, I like, how you hug me and how we're together, and this feels so good, and promise me you won't go and stay in the spare room. How many rooms does this place have? Like, again, from the outside, the Abbott estate looks a little rinky-dink, but I don't know. Maybe there's more rooms. Maybe, I don't know. They don't seem that large. But anyway, that's a whole other story. She's like, oh, no. Summer, I mean, yeah, we'll get back to that. Anywho, let's just see where we're at. All right, Diane. Well, the last we saw, Michael went to the jail and basically told Diane that, I've got some good news for you, and I'm going to do my best, and more than likely you'll be able to be out by, this evening. Well, Diane's like, big grin on her face. Like, oh my goodness, really? I can be released? This is great news. So let's go over to Jack for a second. So Jack is on the phone liquidating funds, and I'm assuming it's to get Diane, her bail. I can't remember how much it was, but he was liquidating funds, and he needed them toot sweet. Well, before you know it, in comes Diane. And side note, was she wearing black again? I don't know. I'm like, really? It was either black or a very deep purple. Nonetheless, Y&R writers, please, beg you, stop making Diane look like she's at a consistent funeral. Give her a new hairdo. I feel like she's the only one in the show where you still see flecks of gray, just strands going through her hair. just, it's not, no, no. I mean, even Nikki's hair her hair is glossy, but Diane's is kind of mousy. Just looks like it needs a treatment. And I'm not hating on Diane, but just like, I don't know, just seems she looks a little unkept. So Diane's like, "Wee, I'm back," because Michael was at the door, and Jack was like, "Oh no, bad news." Diane shows up, and of course, smiling Jack, he changes his tune with a quickness, and he is so happy to see his fiancée, and he welcomes her with open arms. Well, we find out that Diane has to wear an ankle monitor, and man, I about laughed. She had to provide her passport and release it. So Sister Fran ain't going nowhere. She ain't going nowhere. But at least she's with smiling Jack, and the two of them seem just happy as clams. And I'm glad she's out, because I don't know if I could take every time Jack went there and she would be like, "Oh, Jack, guard, I want to go back. Jack, stop coming here. I don't want to see you because I don't want you to see me like this. Blah, blah, blah." That part is over. So, again, Summer has the opportunity to set Diane free, at least allow her to get her passport back, her whole life back, really. But I don't know. She is Phyllis 2.0, like I said, so we shall see. We shall see. Okay. So let's talk about Sally Spectra and Victor Newman. And Adam and Nick. Gotta love Nick. I love Nick. He had his moments, but overall, I like Nick. Anyway, so Sally was ushered to go and see Victor. So they meet up at society, and Victor basically was like, "Wow, Sally, it's good of you to come." And, Sally, of course, is pretty much walking on eggshells. And, yeah, so Victor basically says to her, "You're a very smart girl. Very smart. And, basically you're having my granddaughter. And so, what does Victor do? Again, Victor, stop. Let your kids just blossom on their own. Let them make their own mistakes. Like, us as parents have to allow these things to happen. We don't like it all the time, but we gotta allow it. But Victor, he is on a whole other level of tightwad. So he basically tells Sally, I can give you like all the money you need, but here's what's gonna happen. You got to leave town after that baby is born and leave the baby here. Oh no, he didn't. Yes, he did. Oh no, he didn't. Oh yes, he did. Because see, that's Victor Newman for you. Victor Newman. So, of course, Sally, she's like totally offended, trying not to like ruin her makeup. And he's like, you are wise. Because Sally reiterates to him, so what you're saying is like, basically, so I'm not misunderstanding that I got this straight. Once I have this baby, I gotta leave town for good, and the Newmans are gonna raise my baby. Once again, oh no, he didn't. Yes, he did. Oh no, he didn't. Yes, he did. So once again, he was like, you're very wise. Have a good day. So he toddles off. And Sally's sitting there at the table. I mean, she should have been offended. Wouldn't you? I mean, the nerve. She is going to be a first-time mom. She knows that she's having a daughter. Again, do I think it's Adam's baby? No. But we'll find that out way down yonder. Anyway, so pushing forward, she ends up going back to her hotel room, the one that I think is Tucker's. And she's just wallowing about this. But you'll hear more about that later. We got to leave some stuff for next episode. Anyway, here's the point where I talk about slaminate. And excuse me while I get some tea with this. Just happen to have some tea. Sit back, relax, and listen about slaminate. I told you, I'm telling you, this is caftan worthy. It is lounge worthy. So, slaminate. He's all up in LA with Victoria. Victor 2.0. And when we last saw, or we last heard anyway, when I told you about, he was in LA with her, and she was there fixing herself up something good and proper. Now, I didn't think she looked that great, but again, they don't dress her CEO-ish at all. There's only been a handful of times where I've seen Victoria look, she look on point. Most time, she just looks messy. Anyway, this was no exception. So, remember, they toddled on up to her hotel room. Now, who's to say that they weren't staying in the same hotel room? But whatever. I mean, that's neither here nor there. Like, they'll make you believe that they had two separate rooms, but So, anyway, like I said, before you knew it, the two of them had gotten hot and heavy, ripping one another's clothes off, and they had hit the sheets. And remember, the last thing I told you was what irked me the most was that after they had done the deed and she's lying on his bare chest, how he went and kissed her right on top of her head. And I was like, you low down dirty dog. Yes, he did. So now he is like professing that, oh my goodness, I can't believe I did this to Elena, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. The guy goes on. Push forward. She's like, I'm going to go take a shower. Don't look at me. Blah. But before that, she's like, he says to her, that, it's the right woman, meaning Victoria is the right woman, but the wrong time. Hold on while I look left and right. Is anybody buying this nonsense? How rude. Slimy Nate, you're rude. You know, when he first came on, when his character first came onto the show, you remember? He used to do like jiu-jitsu and stuff. He was like, he was walking the straight and narrow path. Now he's all over. He's all over the place. He don't know left from right. Just dirty. We ain't done with the tea yet. So, anyway, again, Victoria's like, oh, okay, I get it. And she's basically trying to counsel him. But he's got this creepy little smirk on his face when she drops her robe and about she going to take a shower, and he can't come in there with her and don't look and blah blah blah, and he had this slimy smirk on his face. So let's get to the real good part. This is where I'm going to smile. So they're downstairs, and back at the restaurant, and we're pushing this real forward. Elena had told Audra she was basically going to like speed this whole thing up, and she was going to go to LA. Ding! Elena, you are my people. Now, would I have gone through all what she went through where Slimy Nate's concerned? Maybe, maybe not. What I know I would do is I'd end up on Rodeo Drive and doing some shopping after I did what I did, because I am not going to go in vain, that's for sure. So, Victoria and Slimy Nate are back at the restaurant, and they're having a sit-down talk. In comes Elena, standing in the background. And next thing you know, she comes and toddles on over to the table. This is after she sees Victoria put her hand on Nate's hand. It was no secret. I mean, in LA, it was no secret. But it ain't a secret anymore. So, Elena toddles over to the table. And she's like, oh, so this is what going to LA by yourself it looks like. He's been caught. Now this dude he is so foolish. He is so, just to tell you how foolish he is. He goes and tells Elena point blank, I'm going to go back to this. Oh, hold on. I'll get back to him with what he said. But just before that, Victoria is yapping away, talking away, trying to tell Elena, oh, it's not what you, Elena, what? Let me put down my tea for this one. This was too good. Elena's like, Victoria, shut up. Girl, she had me in stitches. Victoria, shut up. This is between Nate and me. Now, if I could have seen Victoria with a tail between her legs, just scooting off, boy, that would have just made my day, because she deserved that. Shut up. She just scampered off. So now Nate, again, back to foolish Nate, he's like, yes, Victoria and I slept together. Are you, are you that simple? Dude, are you really that simple? Boy, I mean, I know confession is good for the soul, but like you just blah, spill the beans there in the restaurant. Well, Elena ripped him to smithereens. But what she did at the end, I thought it would have played out a little differently. I know it would have been for me. Now, I'm not an advocate of violence, but Elena basically was like, threw some water on him, just like, wasn't really anticlimactic. It was just, it was like, it was almost like it was expected because the water was there, or whatever drink was there. I feel like it was water, and he just had like a couple trickles of water, and yeah, that was it. So she said what she had to say. He said whatever he was going to say. And basically, she's like, we're done. It's over. So now, people, what are your thoughts? Is she going to eventually tell Devon this information? Is Abby going to sit back getting worried that maybe Elena may, encroach on her relationship with Devon? Which again, I kind of like Devon and Abby together. I did like Elena and Devon, but let's not break up Devon and Abby. Let them have their moment. Raise little Dom, and you know what I mean. But yeah, Elena, she bounced. So it's time to get JT back. Bring him back with a quickness. So, like I said, this was completely lounge worthy, caftan worthy, because I was just sitting there. I mean, if I drank, I would have had a glass of wine, just, oh yeah, just watching this all go down. But do you think he really wanted to get caught? Was it easy for him? I mean, Slimy Nate, what is your problem? Is it really the power that you're after? Because he feels like him and Victoria, like he feels like they are some sort of power couple, like they're meant to be together. But no, no, not at all. So, you know it is what it is. And I'm glad Elena knows. Again, she was going to figure it out on her own anyway, but Audra just kind of pushed this along the way. So that's pretty much it. That's what occurred over the last couple of days. You know, we'll see what happens on the next episode, but once again, I want to thank you all for watching. In the comments, write your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking. And, Slimy Nate needs to be stopped. Maybe Victor Newman can do something about him. But I don't know how far that's going to go, because Victoria's going to, wah, wah, wah. It's my life. I can do what I want. Blah, blah, blah. Or maybe Nicholas needs to come in and, rough him up a little bit. Rough up Slimy Nate a little bit. Who knows? But it has been a whirlwind of some episodes, and there's more to come, of course. There's more to come. So again, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate your support. And again, if you like this content, this type of content, won't you just hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and it would do so well for me. And as well, if you don't want to miss a single video, just smash that bell notification so that you don't miss a single one that I do. And it's for the love of the show. I love Y&R. I have loved it for many, many years, and I really appreciate you all for watching and taking the time to watch and just loving it as much as I do. So thanks again, guys. Take care. Bye.